What's up, coconuts? Thank you so much for watching. Today's video is going to be a first aid beauty battle. On one half of my face, I have the Coconut Skin Priming Moisturizer. No, Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. Good God. And on the other side, I have the Facial Radiance Illuminating Moisturizer. So the Priming Moisturizer is a superfood powered oil-free priming moisturizer that brightens, smooths, and visibly blurs pores and imperfections while leaving skin with a natural dewy glow. It's healthy looking skin when worn alone and long lasting makeup when used as a prep step. I absolutely agree with that. Anyway, okay, it's on the floor. For just a few quick notes about the Illuminating Moisturizer, it provides instant hydration and universally flattering radiance, while over time, its active ingredients help skin to appear brighter and more even. Modern gel cream formula is packed with active ingredients that deliver skin benefits beyond traditional illuminators. Gatulin Radiance and Chroma Bright actively work to help visibly brighten skin and even skin tone over the long term. It's perfect for all skin tones and types. Okay. This guy is also free of artificial fragrances, colors, and is safe for sensitive skin, and it's also cruelty-free. And the primer is also formulated without artificial fragrance and colors. There's no alcohol, no lanolin, no propylene glycol, mineral oil, petrolatum, or PEGs. And it is also cruelty-free. Thank you, First Aid Beauty. Like, thank you. Can we just, okay. I did also want to mention really quickly that First Aid Beauty actually commented on my dedicated First Aid Beauty video, which I'll link up here. And I think I only really liked like one of the 4 products that I talked about. And they commented like XO, XO. And I was like, oh my God, First Aid Beauty saw my video. And then by the time I went to like look at the comment, it was gone already. So they probably like got through the video and were either like, wow, this chick sucks, or they were like, this is not a good review, we're not gonna give her any love. But regardless, First Aid Beauty, watch my other video. Like, are you kidding me? I was so excited. Alright, so just a couple of swatches for you here. We've got the Priming Moisturizer on this side and the Illuminating Moisturizer on this side. They do look fairly similar, but I do find that the Priming Moisturizer has a little bit more of a pink shift and the Illuminating Moisturizer has a little bit more of a gold shift. But they do both have that sort of beigey neutralizing undertone. Once they're kind of spread out here, you can kind of see the difference a little bit more. Again, we've got the primer on this side, moisturizer over here. This one I do feel like is just a little bit more pink, and this one is a little bit more gold. So depending on your preference and your skin type and what look you're going for, you might want to choose one over the other. Let's just do that. It's fine. So on this half of my face, I'm going to be using the Priming Moisturizer, and on this half, the Illuminating Moisturizer. This one says you don't have to use a moisturizer with it, whereas with like a primer, even though this is a moisturizing primer, I do typically use a moisturizer with it. So sticking with the First Aid Beauty family, I'm going to be using the Coconut Water Cream. I like this stuff, but I don't absolutely love it. So like I said, I don't have to use a moisturizer on the side that I'm going to be using the moisturizer on. So I'm just going to put this on this half of my face. So while that is drying down and sinking into my skin, we're just going to go right onto the other side that doesn't need moisturizer. And we're going to be using the Facial Radiance Illuminating Moisturizer. This here is super unsanitary in my opinion. They say to like actually dot it on your face and then use the brush to spread it out. Not only is that, like I said, unsanitary, it's pretty streaky, as you can imagine. This is like a literal paintbrush. So I just kind of dollop it onto my finger and apply it that way. I have used this before and I noticed that it does really accentuate pores and texture, so that is something to consider. I had it like on my nose and put my foundation on top, and my nose has never looked so disgusting and gross. I literally had to wash it off and reapply. Same thing happened, I had like brought it too far up underneath my eye and it just had like this weird gold reflect underneath that actually kind of highlighted the bags just because it was like adding more reflection there. So just again, keep that in mind. Okay, so here is the Illuminating Moisturizer on one side. It is nice and highlighty. I do really like that. Although I find that like the gold, if you can see, like it's kind of just sitting on top of the skin. And like if you don't blend it in perfectly, you're gonna end up getting like sort of like dots of gold everywhere, which is bougie but not cute. Okay, so moisturizer on this side is all dried down, so we're gonna be going in with the priming moisturizer. Just using about the same amount and dotting it on the skin. I have been using the priming moisturizer for a couple of months now. I really, really like it. Goes well under all foundations. It doesn't have that like weird sort of reflex sitting on top of the skin. I do feel like it kind of sinks in a little bit more. Let's just do a little close up here so we can see. Here we have the primer on this side, nice and glowy and dewy, and the illuminating moisturizer on this side. Both sides feel about the same in terms of like tackiness, although no, I feel like the primer has a little bit more tackiness to it. So typically, because I like to be super, super dewy, I would use like this Light Illusion from Flower Beauty. This is an absolutely beautiful combination with the primer and this. However, for the interest of this video and testing out these illuminating primers and moisturizers, I wanted to use a little bit more of a matte foundation. So I'm going to be using this Weightless Ultra Definition liquid makeup from Urban Decay. I thought because this was so runny and so like it seems like it's kind of like oil based, that it was going to be a little bit more dewy than it is, but this is actually a super matte foundation, so I thought it would be a good one to use for this. And I'm using the shade 3.0, which is a little bit dark, but we're trying to bring on spring and summer here, so we're just going to fake a tan a little bit. Okay, so here we are with like a layer and a half or so of a pretty lightweight foundation. However, I do find that it has pretty good coverage, although it would probably help if I actually blended it in, maybe. Okay, so here we go. This is what I want to show you here. So like right on top of my forehead on this side, can you see like the gold is like oddly peeking through the foundation, but not in like a cute way. I feel like it's just kind of accentuating the bajillion lines that I have on my forehead. So right now in the studio lights, I feel like the moisturizer side is a little bit more glowy, but I do have a window on this side. So in a little bit, I'm going to be popping into some natural light just to kind of get a little bit more of a better idea of how these look in real life. Okay, so here we have most of the rest of my makeup slapped on. I've got bronzer and blush. That's it. I already did my eyes and brows. I do have to go out later today, and I like to be looking a little more glowy than I am now, but before I put on my highlighter, I kind of just wanted to show you what it looks like underneath the foundation with no highlighter on top. So again, moisturizer, primer. This one has that more of the pinky shift. This is a little bit more of the goldy shift. Again, I do think that the moisturizer is looking a little bit more glowy, but like I said, we need to glow a little bit more. Normally, as mentioned earlier, because I like to be super glowy and dewy, it's ridiculous, I would use this gold light from MAC. But again, in the interest of this video and not wanting to add too much extra luminosity so we can kind of see how the First Aid Beauty products handle on their own, I'm just going to be using a Radiant Lasting Mist from Rude Cosmetics. This is Radiant. I don't think I even own a mattifying setting spray because it's just not my jam. But this one isn't like too over the top or anything. And it definitely doesn't have like this golden pearl effect going on into it. Setting spray is like, I love it. Alright, so full face of makeup is on. I'm gonna go about my day. We'll do some check-ins in natural light and we'll just see how these two compare. Okay, so before I get too far on with my day, here I am in front of the window so you can see. I can't really tell a difference, to be perfectly honest. So again, if you have a preference for like pink or gold and one of them matches your look a little bit more, or you kind of want like a little bit more product for a better price, go with the primer. But like again, they look pretty similar. I'm a glowy ass bitch. So do you see like on my nose how the gold has sort of collected a little bit and it's made my foundation just look, I don't know, not as nice and flawless on the rest of my skin? Like I would say the rest of my skin looks pretty good, but for whatever reason on my nose, it just totally accentuates like all this weirdness that I typically never have issues with my nose. So that's just, so yeah, I just wanted to point that out while I had good lighting. And also I'm about to pop into the chiropractor and I'm going to be be like face down in the cradle and shit might get schmucked up. So this might be the last like actual proper check-in that we can do. Okay, so I just got back from the chiropractor. Surprisingly enough, my makeup didn't get schmutzed up too much, and I just wanted to come back on and give a few final thoughts on these products. So going into this, I really thought that I was just gonna stick to my opinion of liking the primer better, but as I've been wearing it throughout the day in natural light and looking at it really intently, even under this freaking foundation, which I do not like at all, I think it's going back. It's like dusty and matte on my face. Like, no. The illuminating moisturizing side is actually a little bit nicer. It picks up a lot more light, it's reflecting more sunlight, and the priming side, while it's nice and while I do think that it will add to the longevity of my makeup because of its gripping properties, this one, it's just giving me that little bit more brightness and luminosity that I'm always looking for. Alright everybody, that takes us to the end of this battle, to the end of this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I did think going in that I was gonna like totally stick to the primer. And honestly, I wish I had like a more clear answer for you as to which one I liked better. There's things that I like about the primer and there's things that I like about the moisturizer. Maybe in the future I'll use them both at one time. Maybe I'll just be like the glowiest ass bitch ever, and that would be totally fine with me. But for right now, that is it. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day, everybody. Like honestly, just go and do something fun. Like please just do something fun. Aloha.